Hi, it's Karen W. from Kitchener Public Library, and today we're going to do our constellation program. I have this amazing globe that has all the constellation patterns, and we're going to do a couple projects, but first we're going to say, what is a constellation? So you can see from this globe, there are these patterns of all these little yellow dots are stars. They're not joined together, but from our perspective on the planet Earth, when we're looking up at the sky, we see patterns. So if you took a line, and they've done this here, so there's little lines here, we see the patterns and shapes, mythological figures, animals, people, all kinds of interesting things. And lots of people over all the generations of human beings have decided that these look like certain shapes. So I'm just going to turn on our light. So for our first project, we're going to do constellations that you will be able to see from your skies in Ontario in July. So I've printed out the one sheet. It's from the Canadian Science and Tech Museum in Ottawa. And if you want to go on their website, you can actually print out all the star patterns for each month, but we're also going to make a star finder. So what is a star finder? It's the constellations, the basic constellations you're going to find, and you'll be able to rotate this and each month so you can see what you'll find at different times of the year, because we're moving around the sun once a year. We go around, and as we go around, we will be seeing our constellations shifting slowly over the entire year till you come back. So in the summer, in July, you're basically going to see the same sort of sets of star patterns, and in December, and depending where you are on the planet Earth, you're going to either see certain sets if you're on the north of the planet Earth or if you're in the southern hemisphere. So I'm going to turn the camera down so we can get started on this, and then we're going to work on how to use this. So depending where we are, so this actually, the constellations go around the Earth, and then the Earth is going around the sun. So depending where you are on the Earth, you will see different star patterns at different times of year. So this, if this is our planet Earth, and this is a little person, if I was in Australia down here, which is the southern, so you can see this is kind of below the equator, this is the southern part, I would see different constellations than if I'm in North America. So remember, we're up here, we're at the top. So if I'm in Ontario, we're in the northern hemisphere. The constellations I might see in the same sky are going to be northern constellations because we're on different parts of our planet. And these will be, the Earth's going to be going around the sun, so we're going to be seeing different patterns of constellations at different parts of the year. So you're going to take your scissors, go into your star wheel. So this is our star wheel. I did this cutout and the video for some reason didn't work, so I'm just going to, you probably can follow along. Take your star finder, cut around the solid line. And so I'm going to have everyone do that. Next, we're going to take our cover. So again, this part of the video, when I was cutting out to demonstrate, did not work. So basically, I came in and I cut out, you're cutting around all the solid shapes of your star finder. Then I just used my scissors, carefully puncture a little hole there and cut out the center. So sorry it didn't seem to record, but basically you're cutting out this shape from your star finder, your cover, and your wheel. So once you have those two ready, you're going to grab your glue. So I just have a glue stick. And you are going to fold along these dotted lines. So you're folding this up and you're folding these tabs back and gluing. So we're just going to do that together. So just carefully fold and press it down and fold. And it says tape this tab to the back. So you can tape or glue whatever you have. It's really easy, amazing kit from the Museum of Science and Tech in Ottawa. You can also go on many other sites and find all kinds of things. Oops, and I double cut this, so that's why we're gonna do ours twice. So it's gonna look like this, and you're basically creating this envelope. So you want to be able to slide your wheel inside that. So from January right through to December, or all the months of the year, and I'm gonna pull this up closer so you can see, each month has these little markings. Those are the days of the year. So January goes from 0 to 31. It has the major constellations you'll see. And this blue area here is the Milky Way. Now, what you can look for is this Polaris. That's the North Star. It's a really bright star. It's at the bottom of the Little Dipper, and there's our Big Dipper. You have the Starfinder component. That's going to slide into it. It's like a little pocket in there. So it has north, south, east, west. And then this is daylight savings time, which Canada is on. So it starts right up here. So you actually can select the time you're looking for your stars. So 0 would be 12 o'clock. So it's just past midnight, 1 a.m., 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning. If you go the other way, it's 11, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So if you want to write down those times to make it easier, it has our different directions, as I've said. So there's also southeast and southwest. Now stars come up over the southeast and they go down over the southwest. So how you're going to find this and use it, I need to know which direction I'm facing. So use your compass or your map or ask somebody or a road. I'm going to be facing south. So if I go directly ahead, that is south. So south has to be right by me. So whatever direction you're looking at, if I was looking at north, I need north to be, need to be able to read the word north. So if I'm looking east, west, same thing. But we're gonna, for this example, we're gonna use south. We're gonna be looking at things in July. So you can see these dates. There's about the 9th. So we're gonna slide that in. So July is at the top. So line up your date, July 9th. This would be at 1 a.m. If you want to pick the exact time you're going out to look, so I'm going to go at 11 p.m. So I'm just going to slide that date, July the 9th, right there, across till it is at, say 11 o'clock, because I can handle 11 o'clock. So right now, on July the 9th, so the night of our program, we have our Starfinder. That's north, south. I'm looking south, so south's facing me. So this is the horizon. So this is the edge of the trees where the sky is going up. So right above the trees or the buildings that you're looking at, these are the constellations that you're going to be finding. Straight in the middle is going to be what's directly, so if you look right up, that's what you're going to see right above you. And again, you can look for your Big and Little Dipper and your North Star. And then further behind you, because this would be curving, this is space going around you. So it's going to be kind of like this kind of shape, and you're going to be standing down here. So you're going to have to rotate your head and look around, but this will give you sort of an indication. So you want the direction you're looking at to be closest to you. You set up the date and the time. So for the July the 9th at 11 o'clock, this is kind of what you would be looking for. So you're going to be sort of looking for these patterns. Now, as the months go by, these will change and rotate. What's directly overhead will be just moving through space. So you can see that. Let's look at the Little Dipper. So in July, we'll switch back to July. If I look up in July, it's kind of like an upside down dipper. If I look at a different time of year, say February, then it's a right side up. So those constellations are rotating in space over our heads. And these other constellations at different times of the year, you're going to be able to see different things in different positions. So if we do Aquarius, I'm still going to be looking, say, south. So let's put, it's going to be low on the horizon at, say, 12 o'clock in September 23rd. If I look at, let's just switch it right around. If I'm now looking at March, and I want to find that. Well, where has it gone? So let me just adjust this a little bit. So you might not be able to see the same patterns and configurations because some of these will be behind, because this is actually rotated all around through space. So at different times of the year, what's on the horizon and what's up in space, you might not be able to see the same configurations because some of these will be behind us. So have lots of fun, go out, just practice. It's not hard. You can find YouTubes on how to do this, and it's a really fun thing to learn. So to make this next star projector, you need your template of your constellations, you need your paper clips, glue, and your laser pointer. So if I can have everyone grab your constellation, it's on the sheet, you've got 5 of them. They've got 2 circles on them, so I'm just gonna hold these up. They've got a wider circle and then the thin circle right around the constellation. So I want you to cut out the wide circle. It's gonna look something like this. So cut out on the second template, and you've got 5 of those. Once you do that, we're gonna just have a quick look. So this is Hercules. These are really fun constellations. It's the same constellation that's on our globe. So Hercules, these are often from Greek myths. He was called Heracles. The Romans called him Hercules. He's half god. His father's Zeus. His mother was a human. As punishment, Hercules was assigned 12 tasks that seemed impossible. So he's a demigod. He's half god, half man. But he had unbelievable strength because of the half god. So he managed to complete all 12 amazing tasks, including capturing a 9-headed serpent. He either captured or killed, and a 3-headed dog, and huge man-eating birds. So when you have these constellations, you'll be able to go out, project these, and look at real ones in the sky, and they have amazing stories behind them. So I'm also hoping you will learn some of the mythology about our constellations. So I'm just going to show you one more quickly. So this is Canis Major. He's the dog. He has that amazing star. So right by the tip of the dog's nose is Sirius, which is one of the brightest stars in the night sky. You can see this constellation in February. So all of these different constellations, you'll be able to see them at different times of the year. There's Pegasus, there's a hare, and lots of them have really fun and interesting stories. So grab your constellation sheet, and I'm going to give you instructions on how to use it. Take your constellation sheet, and you're going to cut out that corner just on the edge. Then you're going to cut down those little dotted lines just to the straight line. Don't keep cutting past that, just those little dotted lines. So it kind of looks like that shape. You're going to bend them along the straight line till they're flat. So those are going to hold our constellations. You're going to glue that flap at the side that goes towards the dotted lines, and then fold that over, make a tube, and just press it down. And you can just adjust this till you get it the way that you want it. So that's looking pretty good. Make sure it's nice and dry. Fold down those little top flaps, and it should be able to stand. So just to go over this one more time, you have your constellations cut out. You can use a pin, a pencil, anything, any shape. You want to make these holes that light can come through them. So if they're too tiny, you won't be able to see your constellations, but you don't also want massive. So I just use the end of this pencil, and that way you'll be able, so you should be able to see light coming through just like that. Those paper clips you've been included and your laser finger pointer. We're going to attach these, and why I included these is then you can change out your constellations that you want to show. Make sure they're down like that's on securely, because you don't want a lot of light. Let's try this one. And you're just going to use your paper clips to go. Sorry, I'm doing this kind of awkwardly angled. You want to clip down the cardboard side with the star finder so that this is kind of flat, and I would put one around each side, and then you can change out your constellations. So these are some of the constellations you'll find. We're using the Big Dipper, and so it's going to kind of look like this. And then what you're going to do is take your star, this is going to be our star projector, so it's a little laser. Don't point it in your eyes, and it's actually going to go in here and project those images of the constellations. In a dark room, you need a fairly dark space, and I'm going to try and just do it down on the table so you can just get an indication. So I'm just going to rotate this. This is our constellations. I'm holding it with one hand. I've got my finger laser pointer, and you can see I can project the constellation on the wall. So that's our Big Dipper, and you can change those out. You can, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. I'm trying to go further back so you can, it's hard to do this with one hand, but you can make these larger by pulling back and project them on a wall or on your ceiling. So you can make your own constellations, and I hope you have lots of fun doing this. So, we're just about to have a major storm. We've completed our star finders. I hope the instructions are clear. If not, feel free to go on YouTube. We've done our constellations with our finger lasers, so it should look like that. You can see how the patterns are clear, not too crazy wide. You can always just play around till you get this to work. And I hope you had a great time. And this is Karen W. from Kitchener Public Library. Thanks for joining.